Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining Create with Dee. I'm Dee Slater, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. And if there's anything in here that you like on this video, please do give me a thumbs up on it. Leave a comment, and please do. I have today a variation of a shaker card that does not use window sheets. So sometimes people get a little intimidated about using window sheets when it comes to shaker cards. And I think that Cello bags are a great alternative for those that might find using the window sheets a little intimidating. So I've got a couple of different cards here. These are decorated for Valentine's Day, but of course, you can mix and match for whatever season that you want. If you'd like, when you come on, if you want to say hi and let me know where you're watching from, that would be great. I live here in Northeast Indiana. And if you like to take local classes, information's below there where you can sign up to get information about that. Get on my local newsletter. Or if you'd like, just go ahead and get on my newsletter anyways for just general information about my online classes and news from Stampin' Up! All right, let me turn the camera around and we'll get started. Maybe, here we go. There we go. Okay, so as mentioned, we're going to be doing some shaker cards here, and I'm using 3x5 Cello bags. So I get my 3x5s. And I'm also going to be using the suite of products from the Made with Love suite from Stampin' Up! My one camera froze there a little bit. Hopefully it's going again. So I'm using the designer paper. Again, that one's called Made with Love. And the coordinating bundle that goes with that is Endless Love. So I'm using the stamp set and dies that go with that. But you make your shaker cards with whatever that you have. Okay. So you may have seen me use Cello bags in the past. I've got a video and I've got to go back and look at it and I'll link it. But I have called it like the Faker Shaker cards, where you can use these clear envelopes that Stampin' Up! Has to make shaker cards. I'm not going to show that in this video, but you've seen me do that before. But sometimes, like this size of a bag is too big. That's why I'm switching it up and using the 3x5 Cello bags today. All right, so let's just kind of get started in on that. Got some of the work done ahead of time for us. All right, so I'm going to be using the loose Valentine's shaker elements in here. But again, like you probably have tons of these shaker elements around. Get them out and let's use them up. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm starting with is this the one I want to start with? No, I want to start with the other one. I am going to show you the same technique, but just with two different die cuts. Okay. All right. So I'm using the arched dies. These are the everyday arched dies. And this one is, I think it's the 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a fifth from the largest on here. All right, so it's a pretty good size opening. So this is the card that we're going to make with it. So instead of using a window sheet, we are going to use our Cello bags. Again, this is a 3x5 Cello bag. So ahead of time, I've already die cut out the arch. And put that off to the side. And we're going to keep this. I'll show you how that we're going to repurpose that. All right, so what I do first is kind of get an idea, like here's where the Cello bag's going to go, right on the back side. And, I like that it's going to fill up most of this area here. And so let's go ahead and we'll add some. I have just a little bit of a runny nose. Excuse me if I have to take a break every now and then to dab it. Okay, so I'm getting to the point, I don't know about you. Hi there from California. Thanks for tuning in. But I tend to not use up my shakers elements that much. And so I'm being very generous with this. So just put as much or as little as what you want. But I'm always happier when I use something up rather than to constantly hoard them. That's my new thing. And you may have noticed that you can, besides your shaker elements, you can add your die cut elements too. So this die set has arrows, it has X's and O's for hugs and kisses. And so let me just kind of show you. So I've got some of those elements in there too. So you can put whatever that you want. And because I'm on a mission to use up what I have, some of this stuff may be retired, but like I said, I'm sure that you guys have tons of this stuff in your stash too. But I'm going to use up some of this. I'm going to add a little gold on this one. Just kind of showing that this is gold sequence. I normally like to get a teaspoon or something here, but we'll just see how good I do without that. So mix and match your elements. I'm going to add a little gold in that one. It's kind of fun. All right. So I'm not going to seal this up just yet because we're going to kind of pull down the seal and customize the shape based on the shape of our cutout here that we have our die cut. So what I like to do, we're going to be using adhesives, both the tear and tape as well as some foam strips. So I like to get close to, this is the back side of my design that I want to use. So I'm going to put it on the back side. And just going to get close to the edges up here, the top and the bottom. I'm not going to worry about the sides. Okay, so I've got the tear and tape on that. Now I want to make sure that I have the where it has the adhesive, that I have the ones that the adhesive just peels. I want that facing me so that when we turn it down, we can size it. Okay, so let's go ahead and take off that adhesive. I like to take your pick tool and get that started. And then go ahead and put your bag down towards the bottom, and we want to cover up the die cut opening. And I'm going to flatten that out a little bit, flatten out your shaker elements, and then put that down. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut this off, put another piece of tear and tape, and fold that down. Too much work for me. I just like to take off the adhesive and now fold this back and just go real tight. And there we go. So now you have this shaker element. All right, so now we're going to put this on our card base. I'm using Birdie Flamingo traditional card base of 5.5 by 8.5, scored folded at the 4 1/4. Still working on the back side. We're going to get some foam strips. And we're going to lay those foam strips. I like to put them right over top of our bag. So I'm going to do the sides first that we did not adhere down. So unlike window sheets, if you've ever done the window sheets, these are going to give you just a little bit of a 3D bulk, but it's so not intimidating compared to the window sheets. So you just have to fill up the bag and go. So let me know if you've ever done the larger Cello bags like this as your shaker for the cards instead of window sheets. Okay. I don't think you have to be as precise with these Cello bags. So as long as you can put your goodies in a Cello bag, you can do these shakers. Okay, get all of those strips up. And one more. These foam strips are actually part of one of the kits from Stampin' Up. I ran out of my other foam strip, so it kind of worked out well. Okay, so I'm just going to shake those around and put those down. So the foam strips will give you your 3D that you need, but you can still, kind of shake those around. I love it. Look how it fills it up, and we used up tons of it. And that's what makes it fun with this, using the elements in that. All right, let's just do some quick decorating for this. So here what I've done with that stamp set and die set is I die cut out the heart that's got the little tag, stamped hugs and kisses on it. And let's get some dimensionals on here. Let's see. I want to put it on this side. So I want to really focus on not so much the, I'll show you my cards start to finish, of course, but like the main focus is going to be on the shaker. All right. So I've got that, and I'm going to use some glue dots. Just using all of our adhesives here. Let me see. Hi, Joe. I know it's so cold all around here. I know it's kind of crazy. Like we have a little break. Yesterday and today, and now we're going to go back into the frigid cold. Okay. So here's the here's the negative image that we cut out here, and I've gotten a few cards that really kind of like zhuzhed up the inside. So you might see me do a little more of that. And I love that idea on it. So I'm going to use the arch, the cutout arch. Might as well use it on our project. And let's put that in here. It's kind of a fun way of decorating the inside as well. And for this one, let's see, I'm going to do Sending You Love. Using Flirty Flamingo. I don't know, like when you, I don't know if you guys can see this, but can you see how light the inside is? That's a sure sign that you need to re-ink it. And I have one of the re-inkers for everything. And for some reason, my Flirty Flamingo is missing. And so I'm going to take advantage of the very edges of it to try to get my last of my ink. I'll probably have to get that on my reorder or my next order. So sending you love. So Sending You was with Flirty Flamingo, and I do have my Real Red all nice and juicy. And Sending You Love. I've got my foam pad right there in case I should have had that down. Love a juicy ink pad. Love it. All right, let's see here. Coming back from vacation. Oh my gosh, we went to Aruba. It's kind of we just love that place. It was, 86 to 82 degrees every day there, all year round. And then we came back to minus 15 degrees wind chill factor. Maybe that's where I caught my cold. All right, so Sending You Love. I got lots of great nieces and nephews, and I think I'll send my parents and my sisters. I've got lots of, I'll call them Valentine's cards, but just like sending you love. I think that's kind of a fun motif. This heart was from that die set too. And I'm pulling things from my stash, you know, so I don't think that they're available, but here's some of those if you have those gold hearts that Stampin' Up! Had last year. You know, you can kind of get those. Again, I'm on a mission to get my stuff used up. You know, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes, you know, it's like I want to look at it more than I want to use it. Do you ever go through that? That's what I do sometimes. And so I just didn't want to use them up. But now I'm like, you know, they're just in my stash. I want to share them. And there's that shaker card. So cute. So if you don't fill it up quite as much as this, you get more of the shaking action. But, you know, I don't know. I thought the Cello bags are a cute idea. Okay, so that's one shape. And I thought, while we're here together, if you want to just stick around and I'll show you another shape. So like here's, and again, like these smaller bags are kind of nice for these smaller windows that you might want to do. And so here I use the postage stamp or the postage dies. Let's see. I'll move this over here. Yeah, so the perennial postage dies, and I used this. And so this is like, you have the two larger ones, and then this is like the third largest. So that's the size that I used for that one. And let's go ahead and we'll just do it again just so that you can see how that you can keep modifying the size of these. And who knows, you might even have like smaller Cello bags. Maybe you've got a 2x4 or 1x3. You can so use those for your, you know, for your smaller openings if you want. Okay, just like before. Here, this one, I do not have any of the smaller die cut images from cardstock. It's just going to be the elements here, the shaker elements. Okay. With shakers, you don't want to, well, you could fill it up so that it's like filled to the brim if you want to, but if you want to actually shake, you can go ahead and not fill it up quite as full. Again, I'm going to introduce some of these. They're not the colors in it, but they're sparkly. You know, I can kind of get some of those. Again, just kind of mix and match with some of your previous shaker elements that you might have around. Okay, and just like before, let's see. On this paper here, the hearts do go in a direction. And so, but the X and O's, of course, you can go either way that you want on those. But I just want to make sure that the O's are going in the correct position. Okay, so on this one, I do want to put tear and tape on 4 sides of it. Did I lose my tear and tape already? There it is. Okay, so the first thing, again, that I do is I put the tear and tape down. You could have put the tear and tape on the other one too, on all 4 sides. So do that. When I've held classes locally and we've done the window sheets for the shaker cards, it seems like it really, like there is an intimidation factor for some of the class attendees, which is why I wanted to come up with this other way of doing it. Because I thought, gosh, you know, I do the full, like what I call the faker shaker, where you use the whole envelope. That would be a typical card envelope, just like you would a normal envelope. But this way, you can use it for smaller cutouts that you have, die cuts. Okay, we got that. Let's see, my hearts go this way. Okay, so just like before, you know, if you want to, you can kind of flatten this out a little bit and then position it over your opening. Okay. And then this one is going to fold down quite a bit, and that's okay. If you look real closely, did I put it on the wrong side? Oh my gosh, I did. Can I open that up? Okay, well, let's just do it this way. Darn it, I wasn't paying attention. I wonder if I can peel that up. Oh, please. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so this is what you like, do as I say, not as I do, right? There we go. All right, so we want to make sure we have the liner facing up to ourselves. All right, you get what it is. I'm going to go forward so you don't have to watch me do the tape down again. All right, so make sure you have the remove the liner facing you. And we'll push that down. Mostly we'll stick. And then now we'll peel it off. Again, you could cut that down if you'd like. I just roll it down. And ta-da! There we go. Let's see. I know this dash can be overwhelming, Joan. I know. It's crazy. So this is the way we can definitely get it all used up. Or at least, get it on its way. And of course, like you can just be real generous with it. All right, so here again, like since I've got this taped down on all four sides, I don't necessarily have to come over and anchor that down with the foam strip. And of course, you could you could use your dimensionals, your foam dots. You don't have to use the strips. They're just easier. They cover more real estate quickly. This is also would be a good time if you don't have the foam strips. You could use the edges of your dimensionals. That would be, a great use of that. But just like window sheets, we want to, like if you're using shakers or doing any shakers, you need a good lift so that the recipient can actually shake. You don't want it to be glued down because then they wouldn't be able to shake it. Oh, did I get it so close? Okay, these are just a tad too long. Okay. And on some of these pieces, you can come back in here and fill it if you like. All right, let's get this backing off. Let's get our card first. So again, I'm just using the traditional card base, 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half. You could go the other way if you wanted to do a 4 1/4 by 11, so it would stand up the other direction if you want. And let's see, but I wanted to show you on this card. Sometimes I always think vertical cards. So I purposely did this one as a horizontal, just so we can kind of, sometimes, I don't want to say get out of our comfort zone, but just think a little differently on the layouts. Okay, that's it. Make sure I have it, that hearts are going in the right direction. Put that down, and we got our shaping. And so like where I have that seam, you don't even really notice it. Like where I folded it down. If you look real hard, you can see it, but I don't think you even notice it. All right, so for this one, let's do our little stamping. Let's go ahead and we'll finish this card up. This is kind of a fun set. It does have Valentine's on it, and that's great. But there's a lot of hugs and kisses, like on sending you love. So I think that's good. So it's not all Valentine's. I guess I have XOs here. Put that with my real red. And then it comes with a little cute heart. And we'll kind of keep our flirty flamingo and real red. And let's get that in the corner where there's a lot of ink. I'm going to stamp 3 times. Okay. I just love this little tag. That's part of that die set. All right. And let's go ahead and get our dimensionals on here. you have a weird sound, oh, I'm sorry. Let's see, I've got volume going. I think my computer's freezing a little bit, so sorry if you're not hearing it good. Hopefully you can hear me. I've got volume on it. Let me just try. Yep, I think everything's good on my end. Sorry if you're having trouble. On here. And here I'm kind of putting it halfway on the opening. And I've got some black baker's twine. And let's see, where's my glue? I'll add that to the top. Hopefully the sound has corrected itself. Oops, excuse me. I'll do a little black on that one. Kind of fix up the black on the inside there. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll do the inside. Just kind of show you a little bit about what I did on that. Again, like kind of stepping up the inside. I'm going to put Flirty Flamingo, a layering piece here that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then here's our, the opposite side of our cutout. So we can put that in there. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. I'm going to angle that this time. And then I don't have my scrap paper, but, then you could do like a little Happy Valentine's Day. So cute. So that's our project here today. Let me get the screen turned around so that we can see add myself back into the screen. All right. Well, I hope that this kind of gives you another way that you can think about doing shaker cards without having to do the window sheets. I can really see on my end that I'm having delays here. My internet connection must not be the greatest today. At home, we were having internet problems yesterday, so maybe it's just kind of in the area. But anyways, here's a new way of maybe thinking about doing your shaker cards by using smaller Cello bags. Well, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, again, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you've watched this far, thank you so much. Hopefully you did find something in this video that you liked, a little new tip or trick. If so, please do give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. It helps my channel grow. And if you think that somebody would like this video, please do share it with them. Hope you guys have a great day and happy crafting. Bye.